Hello, beautiful souls. I just wanted to say hello and introduce myself. I'm so honored to be part of the Lemurian conference with Portal to Ascension. And I think this is such a special conference because we're gathering back the pieces, particles, information of Lemuria from each person that will be presenting. And it's really going to be an activation for all involved who will be watching and participating in this. And this is so special to me as I have always had a very unique relationship with Lemuria. I come from a lineage of shamans on my mother's side, and my mother is a Lemurian shaman herself. And she had shared with me a lot of sacred stories that were pretty, mythical sounding as a child. And later, when I grew up, in my early, I think I was 19 or so, I had a invitation to come to the Philippines and to be a screen actress there. At that time, they were bringing in a lot of Filipinas that were from America and other places. And so I got a really big contract with Viva, which was the biggest film production in the Philippines at the time. So I went back to the Philippines, and it was a little bit of a lonely journey. I had an agent that basically didn't even talk to me. She would talk to other people around me about me and what they were going to do with me, but she never like had a face-to-face conversation with me. It was all very strange, and I felt like I was being treated like a commodity rather than a human being. And so I had this wonderful Filipino woman that lived with me, and she would help me, organize everything if we had shoots. And, she was just there for me to help me because it was not my first language, although I could speak some Tagalog. But, often we would meditate together because she was very spiritual. Her name is Sunita. And, I just always felt like I had to leave the city because I was living in Manila at the time where all the action was happening. So we would drive out into the forest, into the province, and my mother's from Laguna, Philippines, and so we went there and decided to enjoy ourselves. We decided to get some coconuts and coconut water and have somebody cut them down for us. They were super fresh, and we were drinking them and laughing and belly dancing in the fields because I was really into belly dancing at the time. And so we were like two young women just having a wonderful time and laughing our hearts out, finding the joy in our life. At the time, there was a lot of stressors living in the city and a lot of obstacles too in the industry. And so when I wasn't doing commercials or doing print or, working, I was always trying to get out of the city and into the jungles. So we went deeper into the jungles, and we were just giggling like little girls, and we got so exhausted from dancing and eating our coconuts and our coconut water that we decided to lay down and just look at the beautiful trees. We were surrounded in the beautiful jungle, so it was a magical place. And you could hear all the parrots, and it was just so enchanting. And then we hear this, at least I heard this flapping sound, and we both heard it because we both look up, and we saw the biggest pair of white wings fly over our head. We were here laying down, and the wings, and it kind of almost breezed right over us. And all we could say was, "Whoa!" We both just could not believe. And then we turned to each other and said, "Did you see that?" "Yeah, I saw that. Did you see that?" "No, was that real? Did that just happen?" Like we were almost like these giddy little girls. And we couldn't stop talking about it. Are you sure? Did you see what I saw? Those big wings? Yes. Well, how big were they? The whole night we were just chatting about it, and something actually activated with me during that time. I believe I was 18 or 19 years old, and living in the Philippines, doing print commercials, doing a lot of modeling. I was doing some acting gigs, and I had turned down the mega contract in the Philippines with Viva Productions for certain personal reasons. It just didn't align, and I didn't feel like I was being seen as a human being. And so I was just living there, but the whole time I would go back into the forest again and again, and something magical would happen. There was almost like something awakening within me at that time, where I had really forgotten all the magic that my mother had told me as a little girl. And I was really starting to awaken again, that things were not always the way that they seemed, that I had to start to be careful of my thoughts, because I was being shown that what I was thinking about was manifesting at the speed of light. And I won't give you all the examples, because there are some that were really not so great and that made me very sad, but there were some very positive things that happened that really, really showed me, be mindful of your thoughts. I was also introduced to the goddess Maria McKilling, who is a Lemurian goddess. And she's a goddess that lives in the mountains, and she is the goddess of nature, and she's a caretaker of animals. And so what I will be doing during my time with Portal to Ascension is I'm going to do a Maria McKilling activation. And this is going to be very powerful, because through these goddess activations, which is my original modality, is that we basically do an energy activation within you, because we have these memories within us, all of us. And sometimes it just takes a certain activation and energy transmission for you to awaken your own memories, because you have a whole vortex of memories yourself, a whole vault of memories. And part of our work here is to help you remember that, so that you can come back to this sacred knowing within you. So it's not just a mythical story, but it's actually something living within you, because the times of Lemuria were very enchanting. And in the very earlier times of Lemuria, we already had a spectrum of divine beings, goddesses, enchanted beings, but everything was very, it was such a light, it was like light language, right? It was very light. Our bodies were light. We were very dense at this point in time. And I think we're all trying to start to lighten our loads. We realize that we're carrying heaviness from all of these lifetimes, including Lemuria. And if you're someone like me that has these past life memories that keep coming back, they're trying to speak to us. They're trying to communicate with us. These are soul aspects of yourself that are wanting to come back online, to start to kind of work with you, because those times we had peace, we had harmony, and we know that on a very deep soul level, that there was a time where we didn't have war. There was a time we didn't have to over explain things. We just could connect to each other. We had telepathy. And so we have a longing to come back to peace. We have a longing to come back to unity. We live in a time where there's so much strife, and everybody is offended by every single thing. There's nothing you could do, pretty much, and right now, where people won't get offended. And so how do we within ourselves start to alchemize those polarities, so that we can come back into our true divine nature, so that we can access our Lemurian memories, activations, divine remembrance, our gifts, certain frequencies that we can access again and start to carry, because it's important that you start to remember these Lemurian activations, these Lemurian memories, these Lemurian frequencies, because these frequencies really are going to put us on our highest timeline. And what we are essentially going to be doing is converging, this timeline, and we have all these other timelines. We want to collapse the ones that are not for the highest and best good. And we want to bring online and then merge those, such as Lemuria, so that we can have access to those precious gifts, those beautiful memories, and the deeper understanding of who we are, our origins, and why we are here. Lemuria is one of the most ancient civilizations that has ever been on Earth. And it's a starting point for everything. And so if we can come back to that, to the beginning, we can really start to resolve out a lot of discordant energies that perpetuate in our life now. Therefore, it's extremely important to come back online, so to speak, and to remember who we are, why we're here. If we can remember, if we can start to at least have the feeling of the frequencies of the beginning, it'll help us get to where we are all going together, which is back to the beginning. The end is the beginning. And we've been sort of in this loop over and over, karmic loops, ancestral loops, and it's almost like we have not been able to get off those train tracks. So we have to, in order to do that, we have to remember who we are and why we're here. And so I'm going to do kind of like an activation to help you remember who you are and why you're here, and to bring in Goddess Maria McKilling, who is indeed a Lemurian goddess. And through her frequencies, that's really going to help bring you back into your divine remembrance, as is listening to everybody else's beautiful shares that they're going to do. It's such a special event, and I really applaud Portal to Ascension for being the pioneer and bringing us all together in this way and just sharing. And I have this beautiful Lemurian crystal. I'm just gonna share some of that energy with you and just let you feel and remember who you are, knowing that you're a divine being, eternal being, and that you had a past that was truly divine, and that those memories of who you are coming back online. We are coming back online, baby. And it's going to be a beautiful, magical, amazing event for everyone involved. And I cannot wait to see you there. I cannot wait to connect with your energies. I know that we're going to have some major breakthroughs together. And I'm just so honored and grateful to Portal to Ascension and to all of the other speakers who will be part of this. This is a group effort, because in Lemuria, we knew that we were all on the same team. There wasn't such a separation of duality. And we're coming back to that, remembering, but it is actually through the portal of the duality that we're coming back into this unison, by remembering who we are. By remembering who we are, that can heal so much within you. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen, taking the time to tune in. Thank you to Portal to Ascension, and hello to all my brothers and sisters who will be presenting. I can't wait to hear your presentations. I will be joining, and I just want to send so much love and blessings to you all. And then before we go, I also want to mention that Neil is in the book Poems from the Heart by Rada Publishing House, and we're so excited to share his beautiful poetry along with many, many other incredible poets. So hopefully the information will be down below and you'll be able to access that. It's on Kindle and it comes out July 24th, and you're going to want to get the paperback. So we are sharing love, poetry, healing, divine remembrance, Lemurian codes, and so much more. So I look forward to seeing you there at the Lemurian conference. Until next time, much love and blessings to you all.